What are you doing here? No, hold on. Why don't you have a seat? Have a seat right there. What are you doing here today? Huh? What are you looking for? A mail call, maybe? Maybe an unboxing? I don't have one. I don't have one. What? It's not. We're not opening something today? Whatever. I'm more than just opening a box and showing it to you. There's a person in here. As a matter of fact, I create. What? I create things. We create things. I have a feeling that people who watch this channel create things. Anyway, different avenues. We're doing other stuff. I'm building something, and I kind of want to do a little something different. Every time on this channel I do action figure reviews or I do unboxing, and we're growing, right? We're growing. We're getting to be better people, bigger people, different people. This is not a tutorial. It's not a tutorial. I don't know what I'm doing. Why would this be a tutorial? I don't know anything. I just want to show you things. I want to show you what I'm getting into, right? This is simply an overshare. That's all. We're oversharing things. Yeah, I want to let you know what I've been doing, and maybe you can follow along. Maybe you can learn something. Maybe you'll tell me I'm doing something wrong, and I'll learn something. Another reason this isn't a tutorial is because I haven't done this. This is like my first time. Well, it's not my first time. This was my first time. Can you see that? Can you? That's a face. That's a little guy's face. I think it's an old man. There was a tinfoil ball underneath of it. Anyway, that was my first attempt. This is like a second attempt, but you know what? I decided it was one of those times where I got something and I was like, you know what? I wish they had this for him, and they didn't. And then I was like, you know what? The point of being a creator is if something you want doesn't exist, make it. Make it. So I'm going to make it. First question you might have is, what is it? Well, I'll give you some hints. One, it's for a figure. Not for this scale. Okay? It's not 1/6. So the hint I'll give you is, it's 1/12 scale. It's a 1/12 scale of something. What? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you because then you probably won't watch. That's not true. Of course you would continue to watch. You're not watching this because of what it's for. You're watching this because of... It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why don't I show you what I've been doing? Why don't I show you what I've been doing? Take a look. So the first order of business is going to be to get your supplies. So the best advice that I can give to you is know what you're going to grab. Because I kind of didn't. I just grabbed some random stuff that I thought I might need. Most of it I actually ended up didn't needing. But it was nice to have. Like, for instance, this moss. I'm not going to use this moss for this current diorama at all. But it looks like it could be used on a forest floor. Maybe drape it over a shack or something to show growth and time passing. You know, you figure stuff out. I needed it so little, I grabbed 2. I also picked up some sticks. This is actually not for this one, but I was thinking ahead, and I will absolutely use these. Same with the trees down there, the little stumps. I'll use them eventually. This is the foam, all right? This is the stuff I'm going to use to make everything. I'm going to take that stuff, I'm going to take that glue, and I'm going to make it happen. We have bark edge board. Bark edge board. It's basswood. This is basswood. They changed the labels on it, but I have a couple of these, so I know what it is. I grabbed 2 of these puppies. I'm going to attach them together to build the base because they're strong, they're sturdy, they'll last, and they actually fit perfectly on my shelf as an actual shelf by itself. Here I randomly drew an edge shape on the foam and just started from there, from scratch, just cutting it jaggedly, stacking it on top of itself, recutting it with it on top of itself until I got this guy right here. Now, I want to note how just rigid it is, how sharp it is, because that's not natural. It needed to be smoothed down, so that's what the next step was. So what I would do is just cut it, piece by piece, little by little, trying to smooth it off and give it more natural look. But I had to use this piece of wood. I have all these little wooden tools for sculpting, and they are perfect for smoothing out edges. You see this? It's just so much smoother after you run this thing over. It's time consuming, but the product is well worth it. So next, I was all gung-ho about painting it until I realized there's another step. We got to do ourselves a little bit of Mod Podging. So I mix it with a little bit of paint, and I just go over it. Over and over and over again. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much Mod Podge you're supposed to use, but the whole point for me was try to make it as close to feeling like a real base, like make it feel like plastic or make it feel like it, you know, give it some substance. And it worked. It just took forever. That's all. Continuing a little painting, in which case I try to make all of these little fellers start to look a little bit more like this. Now this isn't even remotely close to being done. This is just I played with some hot glue. And just so you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about, I literally just take Mod Podge. People say this lasts them a long time. I went through it quick. I had to go get a huge thing of it that I keep filling, which means I'm probably using too much. But I keep it like this. It's a refill jar. I just peel this guy back off of it, and this always sticks, which I guess it means it's doing its job. And then I fill up a Tupperware container, which I feel like works better than anything else. I use this Tupperware container for painting Mod Podge, but not food, unless I'm really desperate. And then what I do is I grab this paint, and I don't use a lot of it because I saw a lot of videos where people were saying don't overdo it with the paint. So I just give a couple little spits. And all you need is a couple droplets. You don't need anything more than that. Just enough to darken the color, and I wanted to go with something that would be along the same lines as the primer, because the primer that I used for it was also gray, and then the first layer of paint I put on it was also gray. I wanted to, well, it's changed in color since then, but I wanted to get it as close to the original color as possible. And as you can see, the first layer, it's pretty thin. After I go over it with a brush, I usually go over it with something, a little bit more dry brushing, or, I usually go at it with some, a littler brush. That's what I'm looking for. I go at it with a littler brush. And then after you start applying the paint, you get a pretty good look. Like I said, I went with a gray that matched what I was going to be painting first, so that it would kind of go with it a little bit better. But I also did some undercoating in brown. What are you guys gonna be? So then I started having some fun with clay. I needed to make something that I could attach to the foam after it was painted. So what I did was I molded all these guys, and then I got the shaping right on them. Who's hungry? Get down. After they come out of the oven, they are solid. So one thing, it's really important to get the detail that you want in before you put the heat on them, because once they're set in stone, they are set in stone. They have a little bit of baby give, but not much. See that? Solid. On the bottom, it's just regular clay stacked together. Nothing special, nothing crazy. But like I said, it really strengthened them up. It gave them a little bit of give. Now they are blue. And the next step was introducing the foam ball. This was the reason I started building the diorama in the first place. And just to give you guys a little bit of scale for size, here he is next to one of my 112 figures, Gomez. And then here is a preemptive strike of what I'm going to do with it. Now, I know there's a lot of thought of probably, that looks like a globe, because a lot of people thought that at first. They thought I was just making a globe and, I was just drawing stuff on it. But this is actually an outline for what comes next. This little triangle feller is one of my best friends, and I use him to put divots in this. So as you can see here, it's just about digging in, but don't go outside the lines. Much like coloring, only now you're an adult. So we've been through this. It's super easy. Be delicate. Don't be shoving it too far in because you'll do some damage to the utensil. Don't damage your utensils because then you have to buy more. I tried to use the circle one. I shifted just so I could get like a little bit of a better, rounded edge. The only problem was, unlike the triangles, they just didn't hold up that well. See this? It bends. It's just not good. Don't use the circle. The triangle, that's the way to go. I'm telling you, you get deep dives with this puppy. See that? I mean, you're really chunking away. You just break off little pieces of it. See, I brought the circle piece back for edging. So literally just to stick in there and do the edges, not to twist or turn or bend it, just edging. And then you can remove pieces like that instead. After you get into there, it was really about breaking it off in chunks, man. The more chunks I could take out, the quicker I could get in there. Oh, yeah, it's getting good. No, that's just styrofoam. It's starting to take shape inside there, so I have now actually reverted to this guy so that I can get a little bit better shaping inside there before I Mod Podge it. You can kind of see it. I'm putting ridges and a little bit of design on the inside. That is the bottom. Like, it's going to stand like that. When I started, it wasn't so back heavy, but as you can see, I haven't taken a lot of that back corner, and I'm not going to either. I would just build a stand. So that is my check-in. It kind of looks like ice. That's not what it is. So now you see down inside there, I've managed to put little holes, put a little bit more detail, kind of groove out pieces of it to actually make it look like a ridge. But I got to take this part off now, because now comes the fine-tuning of the hole around it. It's not wide enough for what I need it to be. It's too narrow. So I'm going to rip a chunk out. Check it out. It's got a little bit of jagged in there. That's what I wanted. I wanted a little bit of jaggedness in there. Alright, so that's wider like I wanted it to be. I think we're still going to have to, real quick, that is too much, so we're going to have to do just a little bit of that. Yeah. See how much rounded that is? It kind of takes it out. On to the next step. So it went from being this regular ball with no life, with no, zazz, and bam, I dug that puppy out. It was fun, tedious. The reward is afterwards when you're like, man, I'm finally done. Look at that. Looks like a moon rock, but it is not a moon rock. Now I got to put some paint on it. here it is in its first painted glory. Now, it's taken a couple steps since then, but I just kind of want to focus on that purple first layer of paint and show you the inside. You see that? Now, originally there was some music here, but I'm not uploading YouTube videos with music. This just went on my Facebook and my Instagram. That yellow inside is just the first base. And then right around the edges, I dug in with those tools, the circle tools and the triangle tools to make busts and creases and everything. It's been a whole thing, but putting everything together has been super fun. But getting past this step was much needed, much needed. I'm pretty happy with it. I thought that it would be more foamier than it is, but it's pretty solid. And then I went down in there with a little paintbrush and got black paint down in there. And then I'm going to do another layer of purple, do another little layer down inside there, another layer of purple, and just keep doing it. Wow. And there you have some finished product. It looks a little glossy, because it is kind of glossy. But there it is in the daylight, a little bit brighter. And then some of the edges. So a lot of people say it looks like an asteroid, it looks like a planet. They don't know what it is, but that's the beauty of this. I want us to do it together. So I went out this morning and I got some stuff. Now, a couple different things. One, if you're going to order online, you need to wait 7 hours before you go in. I waited 2. That wasn't enough. That's okay. I'm not going to rag on them. They only ever have 2 people working, and everybody right now is just bombarding them with, Give me stuff! Give me stuff that I need! That's how people act right now. I know. I'm unfortunately an essential employee. That's still there, even though they said it wasn't going to be. I usually come earlier, but it's time to go to the happy place. To my happy place. To one of my happy places. Oh, yeah. Joanne Fabrics. It's not that big of a haul, but I needed some new paintbrushes because getting in those holes was really hard with wide brushes. So I needed that. Those were on sale. Ooh, there's grip. I didn't even notice that for when you want to get real close up in there. That's nice. So I need some of those clay so I can finish the actual base that I'm building on. Because I need some air dry clay. Because you can't really hook oven clay to foam and bake it. Won't happen. I got white so I can paint it. But I also meant to get big bags, Ziploc bags. I think I actually have one left over. Yes, here. Because what you do is, after you open that up, it's just going to keep hardening, so you just put it in there and protect it. Needed some gold paint. I won't mention what that's for just yet. Well, you're going to know in a second. Picked up some more glow-in-the-dark. However, they gave me the wrong kind. This is 2 ounces. I paid for a 9-ounce one. That's what happens when you order online, but if you're going to order online and go to the store, be prepared to wait and or get the wrong product. I'll go back tomorrow. I had to get me one of these guys. The look on adults' faces when they see a grown man grabbing something like this, and they go, what is that for? I actually already opened it up. I needed these. I needed these. Needed them. For what I'm building, obviously. And then, I didn't need these, but I saw them there and was like, I know I'll use these eventually. Don't know what for, but actually, I literally just now got an idea. That's my cat running around. Got some copper, and brass and like silver chains to work with. Some cogs. And then a key pack. And I got this because I like all those little keys. I want to do something with those. And the big keys I can always do something with. So I'm not necessarily going to use these for this project, but I'm going to use them for something. And I just keep adding and adding and adding. So that's what I grabbed today. So where are we going to go next? That 'tis the question. What are we making? Well, we know what we're making. No, we don't. No, you don't. Now, I love going to Joann's because I always pick up, like, nifty little things, like, as you saw earlier. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring like that dry clay from earlier, or some other stuff, like the little tiny brushes. I really needed those. Those were importante. But dude, like, you guys, I'm gonna use this stuff for some cool. Look at these little bottles. You know what I mean? Like, there are just cool things at Joann Fabrics, and they hand out coupons like crazy. Like, I get 50% off coupons. A lot of people tell me, you should go to Michael's. You sexist. You sexist. I don't want to go to Michael's. I've been going to Joann since I was... Yeah, Michael's has some really good prices. But check out this gold stuff. All right, some questions I should probably answer real quick. What do I use, right? Like, I see a lot of videos of people doing things like this, and it's like, what do you use? Okay, so first of all, boom. I just use regular acrylic paint. Now, I don't say that, like, all my stuff I do is acrylic paint, and you guys should too. I say it, like, as in, I saw that on a lot of people's videos, so I'm using it too. And it seems to be working pretty well. It seems to be working pretty well. I'm also using cheap paintbrushes. See that? These are cheap. But what you'll see later on in the video is, well, you'll see. Boom. So, for the most part, I'm using the DecoArt or DecoArt. Of course, it's DecoArt. DecoArt Americana. That's what I've been using. You see that? Yeah. It's pretty decent. It's holding up pretty well. I like it. I've been mixing around with a lot of things. And then, but for the glow, I went with Folk. Yeah, well, you'll be able to see that. Folk brand. And for no other reason than it said Super Glow. Super Glow. And I want my glow to be super. Other than that, I just use, like, regular clays and stuff like that. I'll do a different video where I, like, break that down. That's not what this is for. There you have it. Fun stuff, right? And I have some other ideas in mind. Like, there's a lot of other stuff I want to do. And I'm not going to, like, blow it all away. But, like, there's a Terminator diorama I'm going to do. I'm going to do a Ghostbusters thing. My next project is actually Batman themed, which is kind of interesting because, like, I'm a Spider-Man fan, but I've been doing a lot of Batman stuff lately. So, like, I have this whole thing I'm getting ready to do with Batman. It's going to be fun. So, this is probably normally where people are like, hey, guys, in the comment section below, tell me if this is something you want me to do. I'm doing it. Okay, I like to build things. I'm going to continue to build things. If you like it, come on along, watch some videos. If not, that's okay too. I'm still going to do action figure reviews. I'm still going to do unboxings. So, like, it's not like you don't have something to come here for. And I'm sure I'll figure something else out along the way too. I'm excited to do Halloween videos. I have some Halloween ideas. I want to make pumpkins. I want to make my own pumpkins. That's something completely different. Thanks for tuning in. Again, like always, you reliable people. I wish I could hire you full-time, right? Until next time, keep on collecting. And remember, be easy. Take it easy. It is time to relax. It's not even close to time to relax, but be easy, right? Rest in mind. Don't have your hair falling out. Don't let your hair fall out. Don't stress. Don't get crow's feet like me. You need to, for your skin and yourself, for your mind and your family, for your time, for your sleep schedule, take care of yourself. Be easy. Rest. Be kind. Be kind out there. And until next time, I already said that. And until next time, I already said that. Thanks for being here. It means a lot, not just to me, to my toys, because they have feelings too, because this is like Toy Story. We will see each other again. Promise. I promise. One day the world's gonna end, and that's not gonna. I promise. I promise. October is right around the corner. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Halloween is. It's right there. It's right there. Thanks. Pause that.